Today I want to tell you about a tip that's fixed my chipping in just 20 swings. Hi, I'm Paul and this is The Golf Show. So I was really struggling with my chipping 6 months ago. I bought some new wedges. As you saw in episode 77 of The Golf Show, I'll put a link here. You know, I was sculling them, I was whizzing them across the green. It was really embarrassing. You know, for my level of golf, the hard work for me is keeping it in play off the tee. When I get around the green, I don't want any dramas then, and I was really messing up my scorecard. So I came across this tip that I'm going to tell you about now that's really transformed my chipping game. Now I've got to say, I am not a pro. I'm an 8 handicapper. Anybody who's watched The Golf Show before will know I'm not a pro. But the point of this tip is it's that simple to explain and that simple to understand. I think I can do it justice without being a pro. So let's have a look at what this fantastic tip is that's transformed my game. And when I say transform my game, I've hit 3 20-yard chips there to 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet. You know, that's not elite golf standard, but for an 8 handicapper, that's probably okay. I might make 1 or 2 of those in a round. That's given me a chance to keep the scorecard nice and low. So let's have a look at this tip and see if it can help you with your chipping. I'm sure we've all been there on a Saturday afternoon where you've got a little chip just short of the 18th green, but the clubhouse is packed and the terrace is packed and there's loads of people watching and it gets a bit tense. I used to hate those shots. Now I really enjoy them. And why do I enjoy them? Well, I found this tip. I was really struggling with my chipping, so I actually went out and searched for tips on how to improve it. I did have a great chipping lesson with Chris Hansen in one of the earlier episodes of The Golf Show. I'll put the link below. And that really helped. But over time, you kind of forget things and get into bad habits. So I went looking for a tip and I found it by the guys that are the authors of this book. So this is Gary Nicol and Carl Morris. They've got a series of books called The Lost Art, and this one is The Lost Art of the Short Game. And the analogy they use is a plane coming into land. So let me explain that to you. So there are 3 types of outcome that can happen to a chip shot. The first is you hit it fat. The second is a nice chip shot where you just bruise the grass. Bit near the camera now, isn't it? And the third is where you do a yippy one where you try and help it. Now the yips, funnily enough, it's not a bad thing. It's your body trying to help you. You know, as you get to there, you realise you're not going to make it and you try and give it some help. The problem is it's an inefficient way of doing it. How can a plane coming into land help you with your chipping? Well, if you think a plane lands on its back wheels first, it doesn't go in nose first, does it? So on the podcast I was listening to that Gary and Carl were on, they said if you think of those 3 shots as how a plane would come into land, so a fat one is a crash landing, a nice one where you just bruise the turf, that's an okay landing, and a yippy one is an aborted landing where the plane's going to hit the runway and take back off again. Okay, so let's look at those 3 scenarios. So the crash landing, where I'm going to hit it fat, you know, miles through the green. If we then go for the okay landing, we're just going to use the bounce and brush the turf. And if we look at the yippy one, or the aborted landing, that's the plane coming into land, but it pulls back up again. Okay, so how can we use those analogies to fix your golf shots? Well, this is the tip now. I said earlier this fixed my chipping, and what I probably should have said was it improved it, okay? I was really struggling and I feel I'm competent now. Not the best in the world, never going to be, but I think I know what I'm doing and I'm a lot more confident now, and confidence I think is really important in golf, as we know. So what do? All you do, you just take 20 balls, that's all you need, and you're going to hit 20 balls and don't really worry where they go. I've got a rough target over there, and what you're going to do, you're going to call it out. Every time you hit a ball, was it a crash landing? Was it an okay landing? Was it an aborted landing? And that's all you're going to do. And in doing that in 20 shots, you can get awareness for how your club is interacting with the turf and the ball. So let's have a go. Ball number 1. Okay, that was okay. A little bit clean. Ball number 2, that was definitely an aborted landing. Yeah, that was an okay landing. Ooh, a little bit, ooh, that could have been a crash landing. It was a little bit heavy. Yep, and that's gone the furthest. I'll get a few more okay ones. Yep, that's an okay landing. Oh, hit the hole. And all you're doing here with just 20 shots is just getting a feel for what you're doing wrong. It sounds so simple, but this really, really helped me. And I hope it helps you too. That was somewhere between a crash landing and a good landing, so I guess that's a crash landing, right? Yeah, that was an okay landing. So all we're doing is just 20 shots, just creating that awareness, that feel. Yep, that was an okay landing. Perhaps you should call it a good landing. An okay landing is what we're looking for. A little bit heavy there. I'm going to be hard on myself and say that was a crash landing. Yep, that was an okay landing. If you hit 10 out of 20 crash landings, you're going to realise that you're hitting it fat all the time and you're going to need to change it. So then you've got to go for, try and really visualise that okay landing. It really, really helped me. That was an okay landing. Okay. A bit hard, but it was an okay one. There's nothing more satisfying than a really crisply hit chip, is there? So hopefully this little tip will help you enjoy more of those next time you play. Yep, that was an okay landing. Well, that was a bit yippy, but that's probably because I had it too far back in my stance, which Carl and Gary do say one of the main causes of a yippy chip shot is you've got it too far back and your body's reacting trying to get it up in the air. So think about your ball position. That was a little bit heavy. Just bruising the turf there, that was an okay landing. The other thing when you're practicing your chipping as well is please use some decent balls. You're unlikely to lose any balls doing this, so use some good quality balls with a urethane cover if you can. If you're using some really hard balls, the amount of energy you're putting into the ball from such a short swing, it's not going to get into the core and you're just using the energy out of the skin of the ball, the cover. So if you've got a cheap ball, a hard ball, it's not going to roll up the face and impart any spin. So always chip with some decent quality balls. 2 to go. Yeah, that was nice. Oh, that was a very, very clean one. I want to put that down as an aborted landing. Okay friends, so that is it. It's as simple as that. Hit 20 shots and call them out. Don't worry where they go, but is it a crash landing? Is it an okay landing? Or is it an aborted landing? And then from those 20 shots and calling out, you'll start getting that awareness. And for me, pretty much straight away, I started having more okay landings. I was bringing that plane into land properly. Now, as I say, I'm not a pro and I was a bit nervous about giving a tip out, but I found this really easy to understand, really quick and easy to implement. And chipping is one of those areas that can really transform your game. It's in the scoring zone, so this has made a big difference for me. I hope it makes a big difference for you. If you enjoyed that, guys, give us a like. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Golf Show. I hope you enjoyed that episode of The Golf Show. To watch another, click here. To subscribe, click here.